Good morning. Morning coffee with Marcaida. Trying it again. Running a little bit late, but let me share this thought. I was looking through the comments yesterday and somebody asked me, how do you stay positive all the time? Well, the truth of the matter is, I'm not positive all the time. I'm like everybody else. I react to everything according to what life gives me, right? And one of the things that I do early morning is one of the reasons I do this is to share that practice. So, the title of this morning's coffee is Stay in It. How do you stay positive? You can be positive, but how do you constantly stay with it? Practice. Practice till it becomes habit. And that's what I try to do. It's the sharing of yourself of positive ideas. So if I wake up and I'm not in a good positive way, I think of a happy thought, I think of a positive idea to share with others, and that puts me in that mode to where I'm able to do that over and over and over. So some of the things that we did with that was, and how I learned that. I grew up in a very strict household where the culture that was very much that we don't give praise and all these uplifting things unless, it's deserved or earned. So it was very strict upbringing, and when I'd wake up, I'd see, my aunts, uncles, my cousins, my brothers, and we're all like this, haven't had my morning coffee, good morning, we'll see you, have a good day. That's the way it was. Flash forward, finally raising my own family. I'm not a morning person. I guess I was trained or pretty much conditioned to grow up not to be a morning person because I'm copying everybody else. I just woke up, let me have my coffee before I move on. Well, this did not ring true to my wife when I had kids. Always she would say, every morning I'm like trying to get my coffee done and I hear this, hi, good morning, kids, good, what a beautiful day. And I go, ooh, it's high pitch for the morning, stop being so happy. That was wrong, that was awesome. I had to learn that. And I'd say, you know what? And she'd go, why aren't you happy? You have to greet everybody happily and you have to do that. And I'm like, no, because I just woke up. Leave me alone. I got to get my coffee. Then I'm set for the day. He goes, no. This is not the way it's going to work in this household. Number one, you have to set the pace of the day early in the morning for your children, that they get up in the morning and that they stay positive and have a great day because they don't know any better. If you start out negative toward them, how do you think the rest of their days are going to be? If you start out yelling at them or anything, how do you think you're going to set the pace for them when they get to school? So that was a habit. Even when I didn't feel like, I put on a smile that I learned, and I started sharing this till it became habit. When I see my kids, I automatically smile. Happy, sad, or angry, that doesn't matter. When I see them, I smile. So there's my positive start of the day. The practice was to start positive all the time. Now, the same token goes when I was teaching martial arts. I was a very strict teacher. My teachers were mean, strict, you're in the class, everything's silence. And that's what I became. My early years of training, my gosh, people thought I was a madman. Then I realized that it goes, that's not necessary. You want to motivate people by motivating and inspiring them, not motivate them by fear, because that really doesn't bring anything but make them scared of you. And so I started motivating by being inspiring. Yeah, I'm smiling everything else, but here are my skills. It's a weapon, for Pete's sake. Come on. So you can motivate them the right way to have the right attitude to back up the skills that you're giving them. And that's what I wanted to do. So overall, the thing is, when you're doing things like this, try your best to practice being positive. Practice, because this goes for everything that you do. Practice till it becomes habit. That way, it's easier to fall into that mode. And by giving of yourself, by being positive for others, you make yourself positive. You may not be having a good day, but if you for 1 second maybe go to this part over here and be positive with that, you forget about that negativity and you be positive for other people. That's why they always say giving is better than receiving. Giving of yourself and positivity creates a positive light and a positive surrounding around you so you can stay there. Doesn't mean that you're under 24/7, but it's at least you're making an effort to make it a habit. And that's how I do it. I mean, first thing, what's my practice? My practice in staying positive, every morning share a positive thought before I go to work. Every morning start this. That's my habit. I don't have my kids here with me. My habit is to talk to you and share that positive thought for the day. Set your day thinking about good things. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Surround yourself with good people. Because if you're around negativity all the time, guess what? You will become negative. If you're around with people who put everybody down to make themselves look bad and then agree just to mask things, you're going to end up doing that too. Found in martial art groups when I was in martial art, we're here, we're doing this. What do you think of that? Oh, that's terrible. We're the best and everything else. And I started doing the same thing. Blah, 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 blah. Then I had my students. Guess what happens? Now I'm telling my students, yeah, we're doing this, or we're better and everything. Well, I just passed on what I learned because everything that was taught around me was that kind of life. I became them. Then I started making my students and they were becoming me. So I had to change that. If you look at the same, parallels with what we're talking about, is that if you stay positive, because you learned it, I learned it from my wife, we do that. Now I'm giving it to others and teaching them that, they can hopefully become and stay positive. It's part of the practice and the habit thing. Anyway, that is my morning cup of joe. Right there. It is coffee for those of you who don't wonder. And there it is. Always feels good. Early morning cup of joe. I hope you all stay positive. I hope it makes sense. You got to practice till it becomes habit. And you just keep on doing it and share yourself and surround yourself with that idea. And hopefully you start to see that things will start to change in the positive light, in the positive way when you surround yourself with that. You will become what you surround yourself with. And if you are surrounded by stuff that you can control, meaning that you get to be the one to set the pace, then be the positive one. Doug Marcaida here. Have a good day. Everybody, stay positive.